Southern California? Welcome to the Dino and Nelson Show, Saturday afternoons from 5 to 6 p.m. and Sunday afternoons at 1 p.m. on Money Radio 1150 AM KTLK. Do you own a home or have plans to in the future? You'll get all the information you need to know about what's happening in the local real estate market and how to take advantage of that knowledge. How to approach home ownership or mortgage financing with design, vision, and focus, as well as accurate information. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, listen to Real Estate Radio with Dino and Nelson Sunday afternoons at 1 p.m. right here on Money Radio KTLK AM 1150.
KTLK, welcome to the Dino and Nelson Show. This is Nelson, and I'm with my co-host, Dino, the fount of all mortgage knowledge. What do you think about that, Dino?
Hola, buenos dias.
There you go, our bilingual friend. Hey, listeners, this week's show is going to be explosive. We have unbelievable guests. We're going to dive deep on accurate and relevant information on the real estate industry, the mortgage industry, and as well, we're going to take a little bit of a slant. We're going to look at some of the politics with the conventions these past 2 weeks and see how they're going to impact housing. What do you think about that, Dino?
Well, that ought to cause a few eyebrows to go up. Good or bad, I'm not quite sure yet.
Well, just don't voice your opinion.
Yeah.
Dope-smoking, liberal, tree-hugging opinion.
I'll be Switzerland.
You'll be Switzerland. Okay, perfect. And we're going to open up with our first segment, Street Noise. This is brought to you by Roadrunner Exterminating, providing peace of mind when you move into your new home. With any information on exterminating that could help you out, call us. Call Dino and Nelson at 888-814-3335 or go to dinoandnelson.com. That's 888-814-3335 or dinoandnelson.com. And in the expert category, I want to tell you, we have a resident expert, Alex Villa, who's a full-time professional real estate agent out of the Claremont area. He's with Century 21 Masters. He lists homes in for sale in the foothill communities of Glendora, Claremont, Upland. And get this, he specializes in traditional sales, is not in the short sale community, and his own quote, refuses to accept any bank foreclosure listing contracts. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I got to open with that question. Why do you not deal with the bank-owned properties?
Well, from the California Association's own stats, as well as bank industry stats, foreclosed properties sell between 30 to 40% less than their comparable properties next door. And as a professional agent who lives in Claremont and primarily works in Claremont, although my office is in Glendora, I want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Real quick, I got to stop you right there. Those are words of wisdom. I think maybe you should try listening to that.
Words of wisdom?
Yeah.
Or listening to you?
No, listening to Alexander say he wants to be part of the solution, not the problem. Have you ever tried adopting that in your life?
Listen to that. With that as a contributor to the problem, it's a problem because it's slashing the values. It's not because the marketplace has been on fire in the context of people rushing in thinking they're getting the deal.
It is, and as we heard on an earlier segment, a lot of those are investment buyers, second home buyers, people that are going to purchase the home and then rent it out, buying the foreclosure from the bank. But what's ultimately happening is that the guy next door, that average guy, he's only got one house. He doesn't have 300 houses that he can afford to take a loss on, cash in from the property mortgage insurance, and then really doesn't care at the end of the day how much they got for the property because he's being augmented by the system.
Yeah, and I appreciate the opinion that you're holding the line because so many of us don't. And we see an economic surge. We've all been through the same recession where we've been, tattooed 6 times to Sunday in the economic downturn, and then we see this surge in business coming from short sale activity, coming from foreclosure sales, seeing the financing to purchase those homes in many cases, even though there's a significant cash buyer community out there.
Speaking of cash buyers, Alexander, where are these people getting the money?
Yeah, that's a
Where
good.
Where are they coming from?
That's a good question. I'm seeing a lot of in the foothills in Claremont, San Dimas, Laverne, where I'm at. I'm seeing a lot of cash buyers from overseas. I admit I'm representing 3 or 4 right now.
And are these people that live here part time or just want a vacation here?
Typically, they've got a couple of countries. May have a business, for example, in China or Taiwan, and then they've got something here, and they're back and forth months at a time. And
okay.
Like I said, I personally have several of those clients, believe it or not.
And we've heard throughout the Southland from all sectors that the messaging to the Asian communities, to the foreign buyers, is that California is on sale. That's the perception out there.
Yes, and to speak to what the guests earlier today discussed, it is absolutely true. It is 2004 all over again in the difficulty in getting your average buyer, your average guy with a job, getting a loan. He may have great credit and 20% down, but it's quite difficult to get him into the property versus that enticement by the cash buyer.
If you just jumped into your car, I'm with Dino. This is Nelson. We're with Alexander Villa of Century 21 Masters. This segment's brought to you by USA National Title, a national title company founded on the principle of providing best in class. That's what I do with my financing, Dino. You should look at that term. Best in class title insurance services to the real estate and mortgage industries. For more information on any of the topics in today's show, call Dino and Nelson at 888-814-3335. Or to find out any more, go on the web to dinoandnelson.com. Tell us a little bit about your marketplace. Give us a peek behind the Claremont marketplace. I mean, obviously the region is steeped in history. What's it like?
Well, all five of the communities there along the foothill are quite similar. I have a whole sheet of stats here that I won't bore you with, but per capita, the amount of homes for sale is very consistent. Per capita, the amount of homes that have sold in the past month is very consistent. They're destination communities, large lots, a lot of single-story properties, and Glendora all the way across to Upland, North Upland. Families tend to stay there. When the kids graduate college, frequently come back. Mom and dad's property, once they pass or go on to some other housing option, is frequently kept in the family and rented out, or a sister moves in or something. Very tight-knit communities.
That's what I call the legacy properties, and this is one of the, I really love this area because you have something that's very unique in Southern California. You have front yards and backyards and side yards. And Alexander, just like you were talking about, there's relationship. You know who your neighbors are, 10 doors up to the left and 10 doors down to the right.
I came across a number the other day. The average home in Claremont is owned for 27 years. 27 years. Yes, that was before the recent crash. I believe now it's down to 22, but it's still the highest I could find anywhere, and I wasn't surprised at all.
You know, I went to Cal State Fullerton, graduated from there, and it just so happened all the guys that were in my dorm room happened to be from Claremont. And all very good friends, and I just kind of fell into that group. Now still some of my best friends. And, you know, went up, visited their families, did all that. It amazed me how that entire block were all buddies. I mean, they all knew each other, from the little details of one of them acting like a sniper one day up on the roof with a BB gun, and my other buddy taking cover under the car because his friend was shooting him with the BB gun. But they're still laughing about it.
Nice.
You know, it's all this fun stuff that they've done for years since they were little boys.
Good boyhood fun. Let me ask you this question, because we talked earlier about the cash buyers, and you have this legacy community where people are wanting to come back and, as you know, after post-college, come back and start their families there. How are they breaking in?
Well, that's a good question. Because they are legacy towns, as you describe them, the investors see that they suffered the least damage in the fall. Glendora and Claremont, east of Pasadena, going out several miles, held equity best through the crash. The investors saw that, so now the investors want to come into the communities. And the irony is that an investor purchased home is more likely to be a rental home, not a purchase home. So you have this paradox, this contrast going on in the communities there.
You know, and I would imagine, even though the seller wants top dollar, even though the seller is moving, they still have this allegiance to their friends to put somebody in that home that will mesh with the rest of the community.
I can't stress enough what was mentioned earlier in the show about having an agent that is really on the ball, perhaps one that even does the deal, so to speak, ahead of time, makes the calls, does the footwork prior to just reeling off an offer. I can't stress that enough, because what you have in Claremont, and you have all in the foothill communities, is you have a lot of the World War II generation that's left. Those people are more likely to consider what you just discussed versus just cold cash.
We get a break for an ad, but I want to keep you on. I have a couple more questions for you that I want to throw your way. KTLK listeners, stay with us. This last segment with Alexander Villa from Century 21 Masters was brought to you by USA National Title, national title company founded on the principle of providing best-of-class title insurance services to the real estate and mortgage industries. For more information, call Dino and Nelson at 888-814-3335, and we'll bring you up to speed. We'll be right back. This is Nelson from the Dino and Nelson Show, and I want to tell you about one of our show partners, Efficient Services Escrow. As the name implies, Efficient Services Escrow provides lenders, realtors, home buyers, and sellers with fast, efficient, but most importantly, worry-free specialty escrow services. Dino and I know firsthand that real estate transactions can be complex and layered with areas of exposure for details to be handled incorrectly. The number one reason we work with Efficient Services Escrow is their seasoned veterans are reliable, proactive, and best of all, provide us worry-free escrow services. With any real estate sale, purchase, or refinance, call our trusted friends at Efficient Services Escrow, 949-208-9600. That's 949-208-9600, and let them know that Dino and Nelson sent you. Efficient Services Escrow at 949-208-9600 or online at efficientescrow.com.
In a chaotic real estate market, you want peace of mind when it comes to the home you're purchasing. Roadrunner Exterminating, a family-owned and operated company providing structural repairs, local treatments, and fumigation. Roadrunner Exterminating is a licensed, bonded, and insured expert in termite, pest control, and general contracting. For fast and efficient service, plus the peace of mind of knowing the condition of your new home, call Roadrunner Exterminating at 866-398-BUGS. That's 866-398-BUGS. Or on the web at roadrunnerexterminating.com. As always, mention the Dino and Nelson Show and get a free home inspection. 866-398-BUGS or roadrunnerexterminating.com. General Contractor License 922404. Nominal fee for escrow inspections.
The Dino and Nelson Show is brought to you by Best Chauffeured. Best Chauffeured offers personal chauffeur services for corporate events, large and small, and all types of people, not just celebrities. So next time you just want to relax and enjoy the ride, please call on Best Chauffeured Worldwide. It's effortless transportation and first-class service every time. Call 866-323-BEST. That's 866-323-BEST or online at bestchauffeured.com. Mention KTLK's Dino and Nelson Show and receive a special discount. 866-323-BEST or online at bestchauffeured.com.
Ever been frustrated during a real estate transaction, wondering just when you'll receive that phone call or status about your title insurance or escrow? With Title 365, consumers like you gain unprecedented access to the status of their title insurance and escrow transactions in real time. Title 365 was created with all the benefits you'd expect, so it's never been easier to download your documents, see what's outstanding, post a question, or connect with all parties online. Ask your realtor, lender, or escrow officer about Title 365 today, or visit Title365.com.
This is Nelson from the Dino and Nelson Show, and finally, a reputable legal firm. CDA Law Center, a nationally recognized nonprofit homeowner advocate, one of the most trusted firms in the country for helping consumers with their loan modification process. CDA's attorneys have decades of combined experience guiding their clients through the very complex and choppy waters of loan modification. Call 877-499-4435. 877-499-4435. Finally, honest and ethical advice to gain real results. Call CDA Law Center at 877-499-4435 or online at cdalawcenter.com.
Shopping for property insurance. What better describes summer fun, right? It can be tedious getting one quote at a time. Never quite sure of the differences between each quote. Unlike agencies that represent one carrier and can only provide one quote, Insurance Incorporated has appointments with the majors, the nation's leading insurance carriers, giving you the power of choice. Insurance Incorporated agents will take the time to explain the coverage, options, and discounts available, saving you both time and money. With so many carriers to choose from, they can handle the tougher risks that other carriers others can't. Call 877-898-9333 for free quotes. Remember, one of three things will happen by making this call. Insurance Inc. can save you up to 40% on your insurance, or your current agent is forced to work harder for you, or you validate the rates you currently pay are competitive. Either way, you win. Call Dino and Nelson's trusted friends at Insurance Inc. at 877-898-9333. That's 877-898-9333, or log on to insuranceinc.com.
License number 0235301.
Welcome back to the Dino and Nelson Show here on K-Talk AM 1150. We can be reached at 888-814-3335. That's 888-814-3335. This next segment of Stump Dino is brought to you by Insurance Incorporated, providing a full line of auto, business, commercial, and home insurance. Both Nelson and I have personally used Insurance Incorporated, and we highly recommend them. The rates are not only lower, but the service is fantastic.
You know what statistically is taking place with the people that we've referred over there? Premium cost, and I don't know how he does it, but premium cost 40% below the standard quote with added coverages. More for less.
I just referred a client over who's buying a new house last week, and the guy was going with Farmers. He said, no, I want to use my guy. And I said, just get a quote. That's all I ask. I mean, I've been using these guys for a while now. And sure enough, he came in $120 less. And that didn't even include the auto when you add the auto. Get another deduction when you add auto.
The multi-policy discount.
Yeah, so
totally.
They do a good job. And he got me that quote in, I think, 15 minutes.
Yeah, perfect. It's how you need to operate. Well, before we broke, we were talking about we're talking with Alexander Villa from Century 21 Masters, and I just wanted to ask you the question before we let you go. Thanks for staying on. The Stump Dino segment is actually a lot of fun because you can ask any question to Dino, and it stumps him. It's very automatic, so it's perfect. Alexander, you have a defined practice. You've been in the Claremont and surrounding areas for many years. Why do your clients choose you?
Well, I have the reputation, and everybody knows that I specialize in standard sales. I'm committed to the health and the stability of my marketplace because that's where I live and work.
How long have you been in Claremont? Or is that Claremont you're in, or Glendora?
8 years altogether, 6 years in the Claremont market.
Okay.
In the traditional sales, I mean, that's music to my ears when I think about that. With all the pandemonium that's going on with the foreclosure market and the short sale market specifically, where there's this hurry up offense to get an offer accepted or submitted, and then you're in this 1 month, 2 month, 3 month holding pattern or longer with the homeowners going, all right, do I have the home or not?
In all fairness to the standard sale, most importantly, the people that sincerely need a short sale. They sincerely need one. They deserve one. In all fairness to them, the process has gotten better, and I wouldn't discourage somebody from submitting an offer on a short sale. It's much better than it used to be. However, it still matters. It's all about which bank that is holding the note, and more importantly, the way to look at a short sale is that a standard sale, everybody's concerned about the qualification of the buyer to obtain the property. In a short sale, it's reverse universe. It's all about the seller's, or it has until this point, the seller's qualifications and genuine need to liquidate that property for less than the bank owes, and the bank's willing to write it off. So many times, and I've had some that the short sales I did do, they didn't qualify. In the bank's eyes, they weren't really a hardship case, and therefore the short sale was never approved.
You know, Alexander, the whole short sale thing, it bugs the heck out of me because it's such BS. There's so many situations that I've been involved in where I know damn well that the listing agent held off and did not give the bank, the seller, in essence, all the offers. And, you know, and the people that deserve the house, that maybe made the best offer or were the most qualified, didn't even have a shot at it.
It is all about that listing agent. In fact, if I had a client that had a specific need and a specific property they found met that need and they wanted to submit a short sale, I would approach that listing agent and I would literally grill them. I would want to know what he submitted, when he submitted, how he did it, who he's dealing with down at the bank, et cetera, et cetera. Because if he is not on the ball and doing things per the regiment of that particular bank, we are not going to get approval on that. And my buyer could be sitting on the sideline for 3 or 4 months. Rate lock expires, interest rates go up. Now who's damaged?
Yeah.
And whose fault was it for me not doing my due diligence?
And it comes back to the old adage, the buyer beware.
Very much so.
I appreciate how aggressive you are, you know, because like I said earlier in the show, there's so many new agents that are coming back into the business just because, as Nelson says, the getting's good.
Alexander Villa from Century 21 Masters. Thanks for being with us. Great insights. The traditional sales master. I love that. This is the Stump Dino segment brought to you by Insurance Incorporated, providing a full line of auto, business, commercial, and home insurance. Bottom line, cut your premium costs. Call Dino and Nelson for information about auto insurances, on Alexander Villa.
You're just tongue-tied today, aren't you?
I think I'm just bumbling and stumbling. Anyway, 888-814-3335 or DinoandNelson.com. Let me throw a couple questions.
We'll see you next week, guys. This is Dino and Nelson on K-Talk AM 1150. We can be reached at 888-814-3335. It's 888-814-3335. We'll see you next week.